What's up? What's up? How y'all doing? Welcome to another edition of Funk from the Front Seat. Today, our special guest is going to be none other than designated hitter for the Funk, Mr. Eric J. Talking about some of his new music, Stay on Code, up in New York. My man, he's coming by way of phone or by way of video. Either or, we're going to have him on. We're going to be running his newest cut, his newest video, Stay on Code. Peace and blessings to everybody. Welcome to Funk from the Front Seat today. As we get ready to get our hip hop and rap vibe on, going to be talking about some things going on in the world, mix it up with a little politics. We're always going to end with some positive affirmation and some peace and love, y'all. All right, all right, all right. If you got a birthday today, it's all good. Happy birthday. If you got an anniversary, happy anniversary to you. If you met somebody that you're in love with, by all means, hold on to them. All the kids out there, peace and love. We love you. I'm sorry, 2020, you didn't get your graduations on and things like that. But don't worry, there'll be plenty more for you guys. Let's all try to wear our masks, use our hand sanitizer, and do all these little things that we're supposed to do to prevent the spread of COVID from popping in and out on us. Today, again, live, Funk from the Front Seat, here from the front seat of my funky Ford Taurus. Mad shouts out to all the producers at ibmtv. Love y'all. We couldn't do this. Mad shouts out to all the sponsors. We couldn't do this without all you guys making sure this happens. If you guys want to hit the ibm.tv webpage, you can go there and check out all the good things we got popping. We got shows. We got things coming up, new stuff, and we got a marathon plan that's going to be coming up in September. We're going to go 24 hours around the clock with this super hot marathon we got coming up. We're putting that together. Also, we're working on the ibm.tv music tour, which will be featuring the Nappy Head Funk Army for sure, making all this good stuff happen. We got a lot of people out there. Hello, everybody out there, funking all around the world. I love that. Today, our guest is Mr. Eric J. We just wait for him to get on. So I'm going to sit here, take off my funky sunglasses, put on the ones I need to read, and let's just kick it a little bit while we chilling. One of my favorite rap groups in the back, PE in full effect. Funk from the front seat, y'all. Yeah. Gotta get pumped up. I'm loving y'all today. Stay on code, Eric J. That's what's up, what's up, what's up. Yes. So check it out. While we chilling, laying back, waiting on my man to get in here, let's kick it like this. We know all the stuff that's happening in the world right now is mad crazy. Black lives do matter. White lives matter. Puerto Rican lives matter. Spanish lives matter. Asian lives matter. Native American lives matter. All races and lives matter. But the reason we say Black Lives Matter is because of the obvious. We know what's going on with that. We know what's happening in our community. And to all my black and brown skinned people, all my Native American people, know this, right? We got to do our best to not commit genocide on ourselves, because that's what the system wants us to do. So come on, let's stop the violence. Can't we all come together, listen to some PE, and just chill out? Have a glass of wine and a beer and just talk about it instead of pop, shooting each other all the time? Doesn't make any sense. I can't believe what I'm seeing half the time. Yo, you young brothers and sisters out there, there's a way to be radical without the violence. And I'm talking to you guys, and you guys know who you are. You don't have to destroy. You don't have to tear up. I feel your anger. Trust me, I got well over 60 years of anger inside this body, but that doesn't make me go downtown New York City or go downtown Raleigh and tear stuff up. I'm not going to do that. We don't need to do that. And all the anarchists and all you white supremacists out there and all you people that think you above the human race, I got news for you. You're not. You're human beings. So you need to stop. You need to understand. We're all down here. America was taken from the Native American indigenous people. So you need to check all this out and get on your own tip. because you guys ain't no better than nobody else. You don't have the right to come in and carry guns and intimidate people. You don't have the right to lynch people. You don't have the right to shoot people in cold blood. You don't have the right when somebody's jogging through your neighborhood and you don't like their color, you don't like their skin, you don't like their gender. You do not have that right to do that. So y'all need to chill with that. And if it comes to a racial civil war, we're going to know who started it, because we ain't living that again. So I got news for you. Ain't going to be no war, because the man upstairs is going to make sure we got peace down here. We going through some troubles right now. But check it out. That's all going to be gone. What's up, Mark? Jump on in here, Bubby. How you doing?
I just wanted to let you know you were dropping some serious knowledge, and I was appreciating all that knowledge. Agree with everything you got to say and all of that. But I got some good news for you as your number one producer. Your man Eric J is in the house. I'm going to bring him on in here, and then we're going to have this party. Y'all can talk about that song that has to do with the code and all of that. But I'm going to drop on out of here and drop Eric on in here so y'all can have a running conversation.
Stay on for a second. This is why I love Mark, because Mark is kind of like my own personal Buddha. He's never there when I need him, but he's always right on time. And I love you, Mark. That's why I love you. You are my number one producer. And yo, check it out. Me and Mark go back a little bit. He's my brother from another mother. I want y'all to know this man sitting right there producing me helped me when I was down. I stayed at his apartment. He helped feed me. You know, gave me shelter when I needed it. So he's more than just a producer. Mark is my brother and he's my friend. And y'all need to know that. So let's make it happen. Get my man in here. Let's stay on.
That's what we're going to do. There's Brother Eric. I'm dropping out.
What's up? What's up, mama? Funk from the front seat, baby. How you doing? I'm going to bring you on a little bit of hype. One of your favorite groups. P.E.N. full effect, Mr. Eric J, designated here to put a funk. My brother, Nappyhead Funk Army vocalist. I'm so hyped, I'm jumping out of my skin. Come on, get up, funk from the front seat. Yeah, baby, yeah, baby, yeah, baby, yeah, baby.
Yes,
yeah, let's kick it.
Yo, it's good to see you, brother.
Get wicked.
Number 9, man. It's been a minute. You know, just holding it down, man. Just holding it down. You know,
my man, D8, for the funk. How you doing, man? I had to bring you on a little hype music, man. You all right?
I'm good, man. Yo,
I know you laughing. That's how we blow up here on Funk from the Front Seat. You know how we always roll. I'm coming on hard.
Out, man. Ain't nothing but a party.
Yo, so check it out. I need your volume up a little bit if you can.
I'll do the best I can with it, man. I'm using my cell.
No, you good. You good.
Okay.
You good.
All right.
I got you. So check it out. How is your wife Cynthia and your family?
Everybody's good, man. You know, she's at work right now, man. She likes, you know, she works on the weekends. She has Sunday, Mondays off, and you know, my 2 stepsons are young men now. You know, I'm proud of both of them. They handling their business, man. You know, doing the best they can in the times that we live in. You know.
Yo, man, David Brooks told me to give you a shout out just now, man. He tuned in. A lot of times. Yeah, man. You know, people popping in and out. You'll hear me say, "Hey, this one said that one. This one said that." So I just want to keep you on point with that and let you know what's going on, because we do got a lot of people tuning in around the world on Funk from the Front Seat. Sonia Murphy, my girl down in Texas, said hello. She's watching right now. You always see her on the P-Funk thread. Sonia's on point. You know, I love her to death, man. She's very supportive of everything we do. So let's chop it up, bro. Before we play your video, we're gonna do that in a little while. But when you first, and I know you got a history and we got time, tell us how you got into the hip hop music game and about your family members in Undisputed Truth.
Oh, okay. Well, I could even go back further than the Undisputed Truth.
Yeah, go back. Take them back.
My great uncle was Sonny Greer, Duke Ellington's drummer. And that's like the basis of where my family jumped off, was with Sonny Greer with Duke Ellington's band. And he was the one that brought Duke up from New Orleans to New York and introduced him to all the musicians that became Duke's band. And I really didn't know his history that well and because I met him when I was a young boy. My grandfather took me to his apartment off of Central Park, and I was just amazed at all the pictures he had on the wall, all the places he traveled, all the people he dealt with, and so he was a big influence on my cousin Milton Russ, who played for the Undisputed Truth, and he was in Eddie Kendricks's band till Eddie Kendrick passed. And also we had another cousin in our family who just passed last month. His name was Robert Northern, also known as Brother R. And he played with Monk. He played with Sun Ra in the orchestra. He played with so many people. It was unbelievable. And he had a radio show in D.C. for a long time. He was on every Tuesday. And the way I got involved in hip hop was, it wasn't even called hip hop when I got into it. The guys in my neighborhood, I say around 1972, 73, we used to have the bands play at the block parties. And, I can still remember hearing the bands from, there were guys from the Black Spades. I can still remember hearing them play like Them Changes by Buddy Miles, in the project, and then around 72, 73, the DJs started playing outside. The Black Spades had DJs in their crew, and they would just bring their equipment and set it up in the basketball court outside our building. And that was like really the beginning of hip hop, because they were playing all the music that nobody was playing on the radio, all the real funky stuff. And the way it started evolving was we started playing the get down parts of the record, where it got stripped down to like the drums or just a funky beat with a bass line or whatever, or somebody singing on top of just drums and beats. And we would go back and forth to keep it going longer, because the crowd liked to get down part. Because as a DJ, we figured out that the crowd got more intense when you got to that break. So we just started playing the break. And then from the break, guys started saying little things on the microphone, saying like, who's in the park, who's in the house. And that little bit started turning into rhymes. And from that little bit of rhymes, people started building crews and started trying to outdo each other, and it got bigger and bigger and bigger. And then, when cats started making records, it still didn't have a name. It was just DJs doing parties. And then Bambaataa was on tour with Planet Rock, and he went to Japan. And in Japan, they were like, we never heard no music like this before. What is this? So Bam called it hip hop. That's how the tag hip hop got started, because Bambaataa tagged it because that was the most obvious thing for him to call it. And the way the term hip hop got started was Cowboy from the Furious Five had a friend that was going into the army, so he started saying party. Cowboy's on the mic doing his thing. He's like, "Yo, so and so's going in the army. He's gonna be doing the hip hop, hip hop, hip." So that's how the term really got started.
Wow!
This is going back into like the 75, 76. And I got involved because I like playing the break beats. So I started as a DJ in 78. I had a partner, and we used to, we didn't have a mixer or two regular turntables. We would take two stereos, put them side by side, and just like turning, manipulating the volume knobs to sound like we was mixing. So when we got enough money together to get some real DJ equipment, we already knew what to do. So we were like some young boys out there killing them on the turntables. And everybody was
so
like,
check this out.
Yeah.
Check this out, right? When you first and here we are with Eric J, designated Hood for the Funk, his new video, Stay on Code, and we're going to get into that in a minute. But he's giving us the real history, and y'all need to listen up, because this brother was there from the beginning. And I wanted to jump in for a second, and don't worry, we got plenty of time. Because when I first got into understanding it, I was mad, because as a drummer, there wasn't nothing for me to do. But I remember, like you said, they used to have block parties on Long Island, and all the best DJs would be out there with their stereo equipment from home, right?
Yeah.
And this was before turntables and mixes came in. And like you said, they wouldn't really be battling, but they would just be playing music. But then all of a sudden, I heard this guy named Curtis Blow. And I know it
Yeah.
started way before that, but I heard Curtis Blow, and James Brown was rapping too. There was a lot of people that was actually rapping. But when I heard Curtis Blow, I said I got to go see what all the hype is, because and I'm gonna be honest, as a drummer, I was boycotting hip hop and rap. It wasn't hip hop then; it was rap. I was boycotting, bro. I wasn't going to the shows. People's like, oh, all the girls loved it. So eventually, girls stopped going to see bands and started going to where they could dance all night. I was like, well, I might as well go where the girls are. And then we went. I bought tickets, $6. Curtis Blow and his son was playing in Roosevelt at at the skating rink, and at the height, he had just came out with the brace. I said, I got to go see what the hype is. He came out, and as soon as everybody heard that, the place went crazy. I looked around.
Yeah.
I said, this guy's taking my job. One guy taking the whole band.
Yeah.
And like you said, yes, I was mad. Yo, bro, I was mad. I was like, how can one guy control the whole room? I'm not used to that. But as times change and things happen, I got more and more into it. And I just wanted to interject that story because obviously now I'm a hip hop lover. You know me. And always been since then. I saw him that night and I was like, okay, I got to embrace this, And then, like you said before, the scratching, when did that develop and when did that start? And how did you guys do that?
Okay, well, the DJ techniques, once we started mixing the breaks, a good friend of mine, his name is the Grand Wizard DJ Theodore. He's the guy that invented scratching, and he came across that by accident. Because when you queuing up when you queue up a record, you're listening in the headphones, and you hold a record, and he was doing that at home practicing, and his mother like interrupted him. It's like, turn that music down. So he was holding the record, and while he's holding the record, talking to his mother, is sliding back and forth in his headphones. And he's like, wow, that's kind of ill. So he started practicing that and incorporating it into his music, and that's how he developed the technique of scratching.
Yo, that's deep. Yo, check it out. A brother just jumped on and mentioned Gil Scott-Heron and the Last Poets. So I want you to touch a little bit on that because we know Gil Scott, and thank you, bro, for that. And the Last Poets was doing a lot of stuff back then when it came to rapping and rhyming.
Yeah, no, most definitely. Because with hip hop, hip hop didn't invent anything. We just reinvented everything. And what Gil Scott-Heron and them was doing was rhyming. And, rhyming goes all the way back to Africa, just telling stories. And, with storytelling and in music, with our music here, cats, when you write a song, you want your words to make sense. And, when it rhymes, it sounds more clever than just saying it like a plain sentence. So everybody is rhyming. But what hip hop and b-boy music does is the combination of the DJ with the large selection of records, pulling out records and breaking, and finding beats in those records that nobody else is playing, and keeping that groove. You make up your own groove as a DJ, and then when somebody's saying they rhymes on top of it, that's what hip hop is.
Yeah. It's funny because I remember as a kid and you would remember this too. Sneaking in the basement, listening to Dolomite.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Dolomite. He was rhyming, man, but he was the filthy rhyme. And we used to be like, But when I heard that, I never thought about it in terms of how it could translate to popular music. But like you said, man, history and all these guys you're naming, that's why I'm so blessed to have you on Funk from the Front Seat right here, Mr. Eric J. Stay on code, man, right here on ibm.tv. I'm so blessed to have you, brother, because you know the history and the truth. And I wanted to let everybody know.
I was there. Yeah.
You was there. You was there. You was there. See? And this is important because we still here, And before we get into your new cut, that your new video, which is totally lit. It's hot. It's hot. When you were at that budding moment of, okay, you got a little bit of the scratching down, You understood more about the equipment and the sound, right? When you first did that big thing that you knew people was all into you, when was that moment that it hit you?
Well, it was funny because a friend of mine, I lost contact with him over the years. His name was Dexter Gervin. He dragged me. He seen what I could do with the turntables, and he brought me to a house party. And I never really touched a set of turntables with a mixer before, but he said, "Yo, Eric, I want you to get on these guys' stuff and show them what you can do." And I got up there. I had a pair of Catch a Groove by Juice. I threw it on the turntables, and I started just cutting it back and forth. And the crowd was like, "How the heck is he doing that?" Because at that time, not too many people could do that. And
Yo,
that was like 1978.
that was your
That
moment.
was like, yeah, that was my moment.
That was your moment.
And after
Yeah.
that,
See,
me and my boys said, "Yo, we gotta start doing our own parties, man. Because a lot of these cats out here is corny. We a lot better than these dudes. So let's go out there." Because at that time in hip hop, it was all about outdoing the next man. You would go to somebody's party and you would stand there. You would observe. Of course, we was there at the party, get some phone numbers from the ladies and all that stuff. But we would be observing what the other crew was. We would observe what the other crew was doing, then go home, practice the whole week. Sometimes we even cut school, practice like 8-9 hours a day. And then when we did a party, we topped what they did. And then there'd be somebody in the crowd saying, "Oh, look what they doing. I'm gonna do a party next week and sound better than that." So it just kept it just kept progressing with guys trying to outdo each other to where it got to in the 90s,
yeah.
Very proud of, that I feel very blessed that I came up in that, man.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So check it out. When
Yeah.
my producer's playing around. When
All
no,
right.
it's all good. When yeah, right. Stay on code. So when you actually was doing your parties and then you started realizing once Chic had came out with Good Times and that went like, platinum and all this other stuff and you guys realized that
Yeah.
it was a lot of money to be made with it in the studios. Name some of the cats. I know you worked with a lot of people that you actually worked with and was hanging out with that was actually cutting stuff up and it was actually coming on the airways.
Well, it was funny because when things started taking off, my neighborhood was kind of, we had like this 3-block area, and 2 blocks over from me was a guy named Floyd Myers, and Floyd had his little crew, and I think he had 4 or 5 MCs, and the lowest MC on his roster was his little brother Dwight, and his brother Dwight was Heavy D, and they met Andre Harrell one night. They did a party, and Andre walked in. He seen Heavy D, and he's like, "Yo, man, I could use this dude." So Hev and them came by my house to cut a demo, and I was like, "Yo, man, I don't know if I can help y'all out with this demo, man," because Hev was rolling with these dudes that came from like rich families that had mega equipment. And, I had little cheesy stuff, so there was nothing really I could do for them. But, Hev came around. I used to put Hev down on my parties, let him get some microphone time and stuff like that. And it was amazing to see him develop and come out with a record and blow up like he did, because, nobody thought he would do that. Out of all the MCs we hung out with at that time, he had like one rhyme, we had guys with volumes of books of rhymes, but, Hev got lucky and he got a deal and he got out there. And another kid from my neighborhood, he was like 8 years old, and my man Tyrone used to bring him by my house because he was like, "Yo, I got to see this guy. I wanted to hang out with this guy. I heard about Eric J's a DJ, blah blah blah." His name was Peter Phillips. So he used to wait for me after work outside with his bag of records to come in and use my equipment and stuff. And Hev took him on the road, and he as a backup DJ. He started producing under the name of Pete Rock. So, Pete Rock was like my protege in them days.
Yeah.
And,
yeah.
And also my boy Tyrone, Tyrone used to hook me up with a lot of people. He hooked me up with the incredible DJ Wiz Kid, who Wiz was like the first DJ to get the title of World Supremacy when they started having worldwide battles. Because Wiz was on like a whole nother level, man. And also Tyrone introduced me to Vance Wright, who was Slick Rick's DJ. So I ended up doing tracks for Slick Rick and Greg Nice and Dana Dane. And, all the guys used to run with Vance Wright. I used to just go to Vance Wright's house, and I used to play bass. So I used to plug my bass in. We fire up a couple of blunts and just let the go and just record.
Yeah. Yo, you kicking some serious knowledge and history to these young brothers and sisters out there. Now, fast forward. After we got through that whole phase of the party rap, the MTV, Will Smith, obviously, Russell Simmons and all the stuff that they did, PE in full effect. It changed a little bit once television got involved, once video got involved. Like one of my favorite early on videos was Don't Push Me, 'Cause I'm close to the edge. That video came out, and again, it pulled me in because I was like, now they're speaking truth from the streets. You've always been a brother that enlightens people with your music. You give them the knowledge. You drop the history like now. And I always appreciated that. How do you feel, or how did you feel as an MC, entertainer, hip-hop artist, vocalist? Again, here we are with Eric J, designated hitter for the funk, ibm.tv, funk from the front seat with yours truly, number 9. How did you feel when you started seeing the nasty, angry, defaming of women type stuff come out? How did that make you feel, bro?
Well, honestly, I had no problem with it because there's so many different facets of life, and some things are not meant for children to hear. Like like a movie rating. You don't take a 5-year-old to a rated R movie. Some stuff is made for adults, but in the time that we live in, everything is accessible to everybody. So you gotta really be careful with what your words is, because you never know who's going to hear what you got to say, and you might be making it for adults, but it's going to reach more than adults in this time frame. Yeah,
you're right. Kevin told me to tell you hello. And matter of fact, you can tell us about. Yeah, you can tell us about what he did for you in the video in a second. But yeah, I agree, because like I said, we was kids and we would sneak down and listen to Dolomite and laugh. And Dolomite was very, very filthy. So I guess I can kind of get that, and then you got, nowadays here we are with the Cardi B's and all this other stuff. One of my favorite, I'll tell you my 3 favorite rappers from the new crew, Tupac, Biggie, obviously I love some Eminem, I love Prophet. So those are kind of the guys when I want to listen to stuff besides your stuff from the newer crew. I loved LL Cool J too, because he came out with a different mindset with it. He kind of did some slow rap, singing to the ladies. And it's funny, and again, I'm jealous because I'm like, one guy's controlling the room. Didn't like it, but I know.
It's funny about LL because a good friend of mine is T. La Rock, and T. La Rock is the first artist that was on Def Jam to have the first record released by Def Jam. And LL copied everything from T. La Rock in them days, man. How he dressed, how he rhymed, everything. And it's kind of comical to see how far, to see where LL is taking it, man. And I got no problem with LL, man. I think he's one of the best out there, because the guys that's out here now, man, I can't even listen to this stuff, man. Tell you the truth.
Nah, it ain't worth it. You're right. And you know what? I think the last, besides Eminem, the last good stuff, even though Dre and Snoop and Ice Cube, all their stuff, the P-Funk, that was the last good potent stuff to me. Because tell me a little bit about.
You can't forget Scarface down in Houston, man. Scarface is a real musician, and I got all his stuff, man. To me, that's like one of the funkiest cats out here, man. He should get a little more recognition than he does.
Yeah, and thank you for bringing him up. And anybody you want to bring up, man, just jump in and throw it out there, because this is what we do on this show. We promote peace, love, harmony, and it's all about that funk, man. And I dug that West Coast stuff. It pulled me in even more because they was using P-Funk. So I was like, Bert Morrell, George Clinton, Bootsy Collins. I was like, oh, now they're using that stuff. That's when I said, that's when I knew, because already funk's underground anyway. I knew then that I was working in a wedding band, right, with Tim and Richie, and they didn't really like rap. I said, let me tell you something. Quincy Jones came out with Back on the Block. I said, rap music, like he said, is here to stay. Because remember, everybody was like, oh, it's gonna last. It's gonna be a fad. I was like, no, you're wrong. I was like, once Quincy got it, I said, this stuff is here to stay because it crossed over. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Everybody
even
could
Miles
dance.
Davis jumped in on it.
Miles
Davis jumped in on it. Yeah. Remember, he did that doo-wop album. That doo-bop album.
Yep.
I can't remember the exact title. Miles Davis knew. You know, this was just another, to me, hip-hop is just another form of the blues, man. You know, everybody telling their stories in their own way.
Thank you. So, yo, brother, let's kick a little love to the ladies before we get into your video. Right. We're going to throw the ladies all the shine because on this show, we keep it equal. Keep it right, keep it equal. This one goes out to all my hip-hop people. Yo, tell me about some of the ladies that impressed you.
Well, I remember back in the day, I say in 1982, I went by WizKid's house, and he was working with his sister Wanda D, man, and he was showing her how to program her drum machine and everything. And then she ended up being in the movie Beach Street, and she had a nice scene in Beach Street. And then she went over to Europe and really took over Europe like Josephine Baker, man. You know, if you get a chance, you know, Google Wanda D and check that sister out, man. She's from the old school. She's from the original days. And of course, Sha Rock. The first girl I ever seen in hip hop was Queen Lisa Lee from the Soul Sonic Force MCs. And Lisa Lee was incredible on the microphone. Same thing with Sha Rock from the Funky Four. There's been a you know, we had a record out in 1990, and everywhere we went to get interviewed, we went to Detroit, we went to DC, and Yo-Yo would be there because Ice Cube was just putting out Yo-Yo. I got a lot of love for Yo-Yo. And you know, there's a lot of girls have done a lot of amazing things. And in the early days of hip hop, there was a crew called the Mercedes Ladies. You know, with a girl DJ, girl MC, the whole nine, man. They was bad, man. You know, they need to get some love, you know.
Yeah. You know, it's funny because my favorite, you know, obviously Queen Latifah was doing it for me. You know, Salt and Pepper, when they came out with their thing. But by that time, hip hop and rap music had kind of went MTV-ish. So these ladies had the look. They were beautiful black women coming up there doing their thing, spinning, spitting it, and all that good stuff. And again, you know, musicians, men, we always follow the ladies. And again, it gave me another inch on my rope to pull me in. I was like, now the ladies are doing hip hop. Now me, I could never rap. I just wasn't in me. But I appreciated the artistry, and I started to understand the game and the business. And I love how you just mentioned telling the story. So you got a song out now. Tell us the name of that song.
It's called Stay on Code.
Yeah, okay, what's that about? Before we run it, before we run Stay on Code, tell me a little bit about it so we can set it up for the audience.
All right. My man Kevin Harrington approached me last year. And he said, you know, he was wanting to work on a hip hop project. And he said he figured I'd be like the best guy to handle where he was trying to go with it. And he said, yo, E, I know you're going to bring that conscience. And, you know, I've always been like an outspoken person. And I said, okay, this will be my chance to shine and do something solo and make my own social commentary. So, you know, I was speaking on stuff. Yeah. So I just spoke on stuff the way I was seeing things. And, you know, we dropped the video on Malcolm X's, the anniversary of Malcolm X's assassination, February 21st. Right after that, the pandemic hit. And it was, and I'm listening to my rhymes, and I'm like, damn, man, where them rhymes come from? Because, you know, it's like a lot of foresight and what I said in them rhymes to what was going on with the pandemic and the social upheaval in this country now. I was like, you know, so that, you know, there's somebody upstairs that's like, yo, E, this is your time to talk, you know, so that's how that came about, you know, and Ted did a masterful job with the beat, man, you know, a masterful job with the beat.
Yo, you gifted. Move over a little bit so I can see your face a little bit more.
All right, let me see here.
There you go. Yeah, but yo, you're again. Here we are with Eric J. We get ready to show his video. Stay on code. But you're gifted with that knowledge of foresight. You always have been ever since I've known you. And you have incredible Black consciousness commentary. You know what I'm saying? And I always appreciated that about you because that's what we need. We got people getting killed in the street, always have been. People getting lynched, always have been. And I'm glad you're bringing that consciousness back to the people in a way that everybody can get it, you know? So if we're ready out there, Mark, yo, we're going to run Eric J's video, Stay on Code. So we're going to sit back, relax, and check this out.
Enjoy, family.
This should be played at high volume.
We have perpetuated this bullshit and killed our own community.
Some of y'all are tripping like a record skipping. I open the door and watch people flipping. Can't be serious, I'm not delirious. If you see what I see, you be furious. It's time for a wow. Looking around with all Detroiters now. Fell into the habit of trying to be democratic. 50 years later, they got the same status. Sound the alarm, no time to be calm. The clock is ticking all the time bomb. You wanted civil rights, but you never been civil. Out of your mouth, you're popping all that dribble. Too many suit and ties are getting paid off while regular mugs like me are getting laid off. I'm more than willing to carry the load. Brothers and sisters, it's time to stay on code. Like check, 1, 2, 1, 2, yo, y'all hear me? Trying to stay on code. Like check, 1, 2, 1, 2, yo, y'all hear me? Trying to stay on code. Like check, 1, 2, 1, 2, yo, y'all hear me? Trying to stay on code. Like check, 1, 2, 1, 2, hear me? Trying to stay on code.
Right now in this country is being ran by political lobby groups, super PACs, people with much more money than you.
A tit for tat, a prick pro quo. Everywhere you go, it's a minstrel show. Are you hiding behind Biden? Stop crying, black people looking up, and we are flying under the radar like the black market. I know my melanin makes me a target, so lace up your boots and button up your shirts. For this madness to cease, you gotta put in work. Like check, 1, 2, 1, 2, yo, y'all hear me? I'm trying to stay on code. Like check, 1, 2, 1, 2, yo, y'all hear me? I'm trying to stay on code. Like check, 1, 2, 1, 2, yo, y'all hear me? I'm trying to stay on code. Like check, 1, 2, 1, 2, hear me? I'm trying to stay on code. Like check, 1, 2, 1, 2. Stay on code. Like check, 1, 2, 1, 2, yo, y'all hear me? Stay on code. Yo, y'all hear me? Stay on code. Like check, 1, 2, 1, 2, hear me? Stay on code.
Affirmative action is always very an affair. Civil rights. Stop and think about the term civil rights. All rights are civil. Have you ever heard of an uncivil right?
My black body, as a young African man, is a commodity.
It's a wonder you don't go completely mad. What you gotta do to get the bag? A slave to a system that has no guts. Got a nigga by his nuts. I don't care if you can't get with this. I'm always gonna handle my business. Do it for the wife, do it for the kids, homie. Ain't nothing you can show me. The system has a big breach, so you better impeach that son of a beach. Ha, it's uneven, and I checked the score as I drove through Baltimore. Can y'all believe all the goddamn damage caused by a motherfucking chicken sandwich? I keep my system in crank mode. It's time to stay on code. Like check, 1, 2, 1, 2, yo, y'all hear me? Trying to stay on code. Like check, 1, 2, 1, 2, yo, y'all hear me? Trying to stay on code. Like check, 1, 2, 1, 2,
Yo,
Trying to stay on code.
check. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
Trying to stay on code.
Mic check. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Well done, my brother. Well done. Yo, yo, yo. I love it. I love it, man. I be cranking that in my house at Warp 12. Congratulations,
Yes,
man. It's
sir.
hot. And I want to talk to you a little bit more about it. When you and Kevin, first of all, again, here we are. You just watched or witnessed Mr. Eric J, designated hitter for the funk. His new hot video is out. Stay on code. Check him out on his websites, and you can find it on YouTube. And, go ahead out and support this brother, because this brother has been doing it for a long time, and he's got a lot of good music out there. Done worked with everybody. We love you, Eric J. So when you and Kevin was working this out, and you knew it was going to be a hit, and you started doing the video, where did you shoot the video at? What borough?
Well, the opening scene is around the corner from my mother's house. We used to do block parties in that park, and when they refurbished the park, they painted that big mural of Heavy D and his crew, because we used to have he used to rhyme with us down there.
Right.
Cops even my boy got arrested. We was out there rocking. The cops arrested my man, and we had to carry the sound system and hide it in my basement before they came and took our equipment.
Wow.
So I figured that was a fitting place to jump the video off, and just have a nice little background there. We bought the red, black, and green.
Yeah.
So it was it was fun. It was cold as hell that day. We shot it in January.
I seen that, yo. And you know what though? It brought me back, because it was pure, the essence of what you were saying. But it brought me back to how cats used to just kick it like that. You see, now to me, that's like what it's about. You didn't need no lights. You didn't need no explosions. You didn't need women in the background shaking their rump. You didn't need people on fake jet skis that they rented. You didn't have to rent a big mansion. You know what I'm saying? You just did what you do. And that's what
that's the essence of hip hop.
Exactly.
That's the
exactly.
essence of hip hop, man.
Exactly.
When hip hop started because we wasn't good enough to get into the doors. You had to wear shoes and stuff to get into the disco. So hip hop was something for the kids in the street, because we wasn't old enough to get dressed up and go to disco and looking like Studio 54 and all of that. So we did everything just what we did, and we just put a frame around it. Now hip hop is going the way of disco, man. There's too much smoke and mirrors for me, man. A lot of people getting over that shouldn't even be out there, man.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. It's all fake. As the person that I don't like to quote would say, it's fake news. It's fake news.
No doubt.
So when you was writing, penning those words, because I know how it is with a song. When you first put that first line down, sometimes in your heart, this is gonna be a hit. It's gonna be a great song or a great rap, and you was penning it, like you said.
Man. Some of
Yeah, and
some of y'all are tripping. I open the door, I see people flipping. That's exactly what I see, man.
Yeah, I like how when you was penning it, you didn't leave out your consciousness. You didn't sell out to anything. You kind of kicked it like you saw it. And I love the symbolism of Black Power, because a lot of people don't really know what that means. They think it means something that it's not. Really, it's just the essence of who we are as Black people, and we just trying to express that, we have something to say in a powerful way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And with everything that's going on now, obviously, this has been happening forever. Give us a little bit of your insight. Again, here we are with Eric J on ibm.tv. That was his hot video, Stay on Code. And we're just chilling on Funk from the Front Seat with yours truly, number 9. Give us a little insight about how you felt in your heart when you saw that happened to George Floyd?
I was like, oh man, here we go again, man. I've been watching this my whole life, man. You know, going back to Michael Stewart getting jumped by the cops in the subway. They took him in the back room and choked him out in the subway over writing his name. You know, the old woman with with mental problems. They knocked on her door, blew her away with a shotgun, man. You know,
I remember her.
Yeah, this has been going on my whole life, man. It's like every time you turn around, it's another name. It's another name. It's another family that don't have somebody with them no more because you got some overzealous cops that got a problem with you. You know, it's like, yo, y'all think your job ain't that serious, man.
Yeah, Eleanor Bumpers was that lady's name. Eleanor Bumpers.
Yeah, Eleanor Bumpers. Yeah,
the mental lady. She had mental retardation. Yeah. She couldn't even communicate. And they just bang. Yeah. And you're right.
They kicked the door in, scared of the death. They scared of the death. So she stepped on meat cleaver because she was scared, and they blew her away with a shotgun, man. I mean, you're supposed to be a grown ass man, and you can't disarm a woman. Come on, you shouldn't have that job.
Yep. That's right. So right now in New York is lit. Obviously we can't really perform, although I heard they are opening stuff up. Like you said earlier, you put out your track, COVID hits us, and now it's even more important that track is out. You know, the creator knows when stuff has to come out. Yeah, it's very important because you bring it into people's homes. And again, right now, we're worldwide. People are watching you in India, China, Japan, Germany, Australia. IBM is big. And I'm so grateful to have you. That's why I wanted to specifically get into that one video. And I know you got a whole album coming out soon and you're working on other projects. And we're going to have you back when you actually get some of that stuff ready to go. But
right.
When you look at COVID and how it has forced us to change the music game, how do you think it's going to change, in particular, the rap hip hop game?
Well, it's tough on everybody because a lot of cats make their money off of live performances, man. And if you can't perform live, you can't bring in no money. So, I see a lot of guys online. It's like, yo, help me out here, man. I got a PayPal or whatever. It's like, this is really bad situation, man.
Yeah. It's
and to me, that's the worst part is not having that contact with other humans, man. Because this is we're family, and you can't see your family because you're scared you're gonna get sick now.
Yeah, and you're right because human contact and interaction for any artist, musician, rapper, DJ, hip hop, we need that. And I was just telling my coworkers on IBM last night how sad I am that I can't perform. And I can feel it, hear it from everybody I talk to that's an artist. It's very hard not to be able to do stuff that you do and you want to do and you can't do it. To the point where you reach out and touch that person in the audience. You know what I mean? And I think that because COVID has changed the way we think now and have to interact online and make it as live as possible, and that's what you do well. Your message came right to the front. As soon as you hit 4 lines into your video, your message, boom, was right to the front. And I like the fact that, like I said before, you had Kevin, do the production and the video of it. Because Kevin, everybody knows who he is. He's a master at this stuff. You know what I'm saying? And I'm glad he's in our circles. Love you, Kev. Thank you, bro. So tell us a little bit about, we still got a little bit of time. Yeah, tell us a little bit about how they can find your music and where they can find it at.
Well, right now we just got the official video on YouTube, and once we finish putting together a whole album, we'll have more, so people can access it and download and buy and all that stuff. So
that works. That works.
Or whatever. Yeah.
So they can go to your Facebook page and check it.
Yeah, I'm on Facebook. You can see me on Facebook. I got a band page too, just Eric J. All about the music. and you can see some of the older stuff I've done, and you know, stay on code, and you know, once I start dropping some new joints, I'll be posting it up there too for y'all.
Yeah. I know, and see here, you know, I've been in the house, you know, tinkering, and I'm working on some stuff for us for Nappy Head too that I'm gonna let y'all check out soon. And the funk,
Yeah,
in this game now, as you know, has gone worldwide, global. You know, so give us a
right.
little insight on the three masters, George, Bootsy, and Bernie, and tell us how they influenced your life.
Oh man, you know, I got my start with P Funk, man, when they came out with I wanna not I want to testify up for the downstroke. My father came home with the 45. And you remember we used to have them record players, you could put a record on and just let it go back and like play over and over again.
Yeah,
I played Up for the Downstroke like 100 times, man. You know, I was just like that record just amazed me. And then after that came out, they just started putting out hit after hit after hit after hit. Well, you know, when Mothership Connection came out, I remember coming out of a block party from the basketball court in the projects we lived in and listening to Mothership Connection play through them speakers and bouncing off the wall project. It was like with them voices, that bass line, them drums, it was crazy. And then, you know, I was hooked from there. But then my father took me to see them live when they played at the Palladium, man, on One Nation Under Groove tour. Turns out you was at that show, and John Purvis was at that show, man. It was like, what a coincidence, man, that all the real true Funketeers was up in that show. And
yep,
I mean, George and the Brides opening up the show, then James Wesley Jackson coming out doing his comedy. And, you know, that's when George was wearing the long blonde wig. And it was just, I was hooked forever after that, man. You know, that was the baddest band, in my opinion, to this day. Ain't nobody going to touch what that band did, man. You know,
nope,
you
that's
know,
right.
Boots,
Greatest
you
band in
know,
the
and then
world. You know what's funny that you
yeah, and
mentioned
then
that
with
because
Boots,
yeah,
and then you know,
because
Bootsy, man. Come
they
on, Bootsy.
inspired. Yeah, they all inspired me. You know, obviously their music and everything else, but I was watching how they was doing it without mainstream airplay.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
they basically
Exactly.
they was independent before independent became a thing. And I watched. I was like, how are these guys selling out Madison Square Garden? And at that time, they had just went mainstream. You know, now
Yeah.
DC, Chocolate City, Texas, you know, New York, Strong Island, a few of the spots was crushing it, but mainstream radio was not playing their stuff on the reg. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And
because
I watched
they were
how
like,
Bootsy,
they were
you
like,
know, he went and took it, and Bernie took it, and George took it, and all the P Funk All Stars. There's too many to name, but all you ladies and gentlemen out there, I want y'all to know how you influenced both of us into that music, man. And to this day, that's why I say they're the greatest band ever, because they weren't like the Beatles. They didn't get airplay. They was playing "I Want to Hold Your Hand" every 3 minutes, you know. But you could hear "Up for the Downstroke" on the radio. You know, you couldn't hear
yeah,
"Chocolate City" on the radio, but they
nah,
still blew up. And I was like, "This is
yeah,
meant to be." Yep.
because
So,
because they was the equivalent to what they did in their time is what hip hop turned out to be. Because you
yep,
know, hip hop was totally underground too, and P Funk
yep,
was hip hop before hip hop was. It was all underground.
yep,
Everybody in the hood, from coast to coast, every hood knew what P Funk was. Everybody had all the records, went all the show, but mainstream was like, I don't know what these guys is doing until all of a sudden you get a pop hit, then everybody want to jump on board. But that's all
yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep. That's why when Bernie did Flashlight, I had friends of mine be like, "Yo, this is the baddest thing I ever heard," and I was like, "Yeah, it is." I was like, "But you know, 1972. You know what I'm saying? Flashlight
yeah,
was in like 81. I was like, you know, go back to 1972. America Eats is Young. Mommy Wants to Be a Funkadelic. Maggot
yeah,
Brain. You know, Parliament, Up for the Downstroke, Chocolate City. You know, go back to Who Stole the Cookie Jar. You know what I'm saying? I turned them
yeah,
on to that, and then they went back and got it, and then I said, that's how this stuff got to where it is. Yes,
yeah,
Flashlight was a major hit by Bernie, and Bootsy actually wrote that, and Bootsy told me he played drums on it. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
Boosie
A lot of
plays
people
drums.
don't know that. Yeah,
Yeah,
Bootsy played drums on Flashlight, because from what
yeah,
I understand, I could be wrong, but it was actually his track that Bernie manipulated. But when they crossed over and went mainstream, then their audience became mixed. That's when I
Yeah,
knew. I was like, yeah, the funk,
yeah,
we got you now. We got you now. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
But man, yo, so check it out. We got a few minutes left and then we're gonna wrap. But here we
All
are
right.
with Eric J. He was gracious enough to hang with us on Funk from the Front Seat. My brother from another mothership, right here on ibm.tv. His new track out, Stay on Code. Go to YouTube, check it out because it's blistering hot and it's gonna make you think and bring your consciousness up. So, any last words for the young people out there? If you're talking to a young man or woman and they want to get into this conscious rap stuff and take it and make it real, what would you tell them to inspire them?
Well, I tell number one, stay focused on your goal, and do your research on the brothers and the sisters that came before you, and set the ground for you to set this ground up for you to stand on. Because a lot of people
Amen.
paid dues to get to this point.
Yep,
Nobody doing this on their own, man. A lot of
that's
people
right.
put in the work along for many years that are not here anymore, but they left a blueprint for you to follow. So if you go back and do your research and you see what they did and where you can take it from where they left off, that's the main thing.
Yo, man, let me tell you something. You're a knowledgeable, enlightened, gifted brother. I'm glad to call you my brother. Um,
Thank
and I'll tell
you.
people
And I
really
would like to
quick.
say,
Oh, go for it.
before we go, can I say something?
Yeah, go.
Yo, because it's funny how I got into Nappy Head, because Amuka brought me into John Purvis. She introduced me to John Purvis and said I would be perfect for John Purvis's band. He had like a Jimi Hendrix type trio set up, and they put me up front to drop rhymes like I'm dropping now out front. So it was like Jimi Hendrix with Chuck, So that was a unique combination. And then John was playing in your band, Nappy Head, and he said, "Yo, E, you got to come down to the Elbow Room and sit in with us. You home, man."
We lost Eric J.
I
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, no, Eric is still there. I just wanted to let you know that, Eric, I was really enjoying your comments. It was some real powerful comments. Looking forward to hearing more of your music in the future because you are a real powerful gentleman out there and really enjoying hearing what you got to say and really enjoying hearing, learn about that history of hip hop. I've actually am in my late 50s, a little bit younger than Zack, but definitely know the hip hop music. And I was glad you made that parallel to blues music because Zack will tell you I'm a
yes,
big
sir.
blues head and love my blues music, and there's some deep parallels between the music in terms of being message music. So just want to jump in there and share that I was really enjoying your comments. Look forward to learning more about you as you pop in and do more things with us. So I'm here to pop on out of here. You and Zack can wrap everything up, but I just wanted to share that with you and let you know how much I was really enjoying that connection you made between blues and the hip hop.
Yeah, thank you, man. Hip
Thank
hop
you,
is an
Bart.
offshoot of the funk, man. We just funkin'.
So. Oh, we're getting back in a minute. Yeah. So John Purvis brought you down to Elbow Room.
That's it.
No. We good. Finish telling your story about John Purvis.
Oh, okay, yeah. John Purvis is the cat that brought me down to the Elbow Room, man. Said, "Yo, man, you would be perfect for this band, man." And y'all was looking like, "Yo, who the hell is this dude?" And after that first gig, man, I knew I was home, man.
I'm glad because you know what? When I turned around, you was just there, and I was like, "All right, it's cool." I knew
Yeah,
you was my
I
brother.
remember you said, "Yeah." You said, "Yo, man, play these hats and only sing the stuff that you know." And y'all did so much P-Funk. I knew every damn song y'all did, man.
Yeah, it was beautiful because the way that all came together, and we just getting started because we coming back hard soon as we can come back. But your
I don't
energy
know
up
if y'all
there,
ready for it.
yeah, right. Your energy up there used to just make me feel so good because you enjoyed your performance so well. A lot of
Yeah,
times I would just be looking at you because you was so like funkified. You know what I'm saying? You were so funkified. It used to just lift me up, man. And you always, you know, had a cheerful thing to say, and you always was so loving and caring and giving, because that's the kind of brother you are. And again,
you, man. I appreciate it, man.
Let me tell you, what you've done for the game, what you've done for the hip hop community in the world, your consciousness. You know, David Brooks says he loves you. Kevin was on saying hi. I got to give a shout out to Lance Dandridge, one of our real funk supporters from back in the day.
Man. What up, y'all?
Strong Island representative. I see you, Lance. I didn't forget you, brother. I love you, man. Love you. You know, you the man. You the man.
Right.
You know, you have so many fans around the world, Eric J.
Yo, man, I can't wait till we can hook up and fly that mothership again, man.
Yo, you know, I'm working on some stuff. You know, I've been kind of keeping a low profile, but you know, I'm pulling in some Funketeers to try to help us get this thing off. You know, Mike P down in Atlanta. I just had a conversation with Boosie's wife, Patty Collins, this week. You know, we was talking about some stuff. So, you know, I'm keeping it on the quiet, but you know, I'm underground. You know how we do. We don't really put it out until it's ready to roll. Anyway, we're gonna wrap the show up. I had Mr. Eric J, designated hitter for the funk. His new video, hot on YouTube. Stay on code. This brother's dropping knowledge for 2020. I love you, brother. Peace and love. I'll get back at you soon, man.
All right, man.
Funk from the front seat. Yeah, this is how we go out. We love y'all today. And don't forget, check out the ibm.tv website. Go check out our store on there. You know, we got a lot of good products to sell. ibm.tv sponsorship. You know, we want all you guys to come on board and check out what we're doing over here at ibm.tv. I want to thank everybody that tuned in today. I want to thank all the producers and the investors behind what's going on that makes it possible for Funk from the Front Seat. Tomorrow on Funk Music with Zack at 12 o'clock, I will have none other than Miss Star Colors from the West Coast, giving us a little bit of insight and her new music and her new production company. Also, maybe she might play one track for us live. We'll see. Second half of the show tomorrow on Funk Music with Zack, I have, and I'm blessed to have, Donna Sneed, the wife of Boogie Munson, Cardell Boogie Munson, and a new project she's working with Michael Brown, Benevolent Funk. So you're going to want to tune in tomorrow and don't miss all this funk that we throwing at you here on ibm.tv. We are worldwide. We love all you guys. If you ever have any issues, call one of us. If you're feeling down and low, call one of us. You know how we do. Positive affirmation. Again, today, my guest was Eric J, you know, with his new video, Stay on Code. Stay on Code. You know what that means. Consciousness, y'all. Humanity and consciousness. I love y'all. As always, I'm out. Number 9. Woo! Get it on. Let's get it on. I see y'all tomorrow. Let's get it on. Put on my sunglasses. Funk from the front seat. As you raise your fist to the music, humanity stand as the body, we fall together. We can stand tall, brothers that try to work it out. They get mad, we rise, realize we're so bad. And boom! They ain't no like no fool. Like I said before, the living low. Life, take your time, no go through. Look ahead, another thing to fear. Brother, got another as sincere. Teach a man how to be a father. To never tell a woman you can't bother. This is an ibm.tv production. Funk from the front seat. Nappy Head Funk Army. Number 9. I'm out, y'all.